You are live.
Okay. Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining our AI on IBM Z track. Welcome to our Dev Days, and glad to provide you today with an overview about how we are unlocking business growth and operational efficiency with AI on IBM Z. My name is Khadija Souissi. I am Principal Solution Architect responsible for AI on IBM Z and LinuxONE. And today, I would really like to introduce you to why we are doing or providing AI capabilities on IBM Z, what you can do with AI on IBM Z, and what kind of technologies we are offering on this platform in order to make AI happen. First of all, if we look at the hype around AI, agentic AI, and all the evolution that we have been seeing in the last years, we see really a lot of new requirements coming where the AI workload needs to get some hardware and a lot of infrastructure capabilities in order to make AI happen. And I usually say we always refer to data as the new fuel. And to me, the infrastructure is the kind of engine that helps you drive your AI journey. And I'm relating to this statement regarding which has been made by Dario Gil, our ex-GM of IBM Research, where he's really articulating the importance of the infrastructure for AI. And again, due to the evolution of the AI approaches, we have been seeing in the last years a lot of new requirements coming, for example, due to the fact that we are using large language models that have big number of model parameters, and that's really require also infrastructure that can scale. We also have a jump in energy consumption as we are deploying generative AI in the different organizations. We see really that those kind of GPUs that are needed for this generative AI capabilities, they need a lot of energy. And this also means that we need more electricity consumption, and it has also some impact on the sustainability aspects. And then in terms of security, we see here 1 in 3 security breaches involving shadow data, showing the proliferation of data is making it harder to track and safeguard. And when we talk about security, it's about securing the data, it's about securing the model. There are a lot of security aspects related to AI. We even use AI in security as well. So a lot of new requirements are coming to the infrastructure in order to really address the new AI approaches requirements. And looking at how we are addressing those kinds of requirements with the newest technologies that we have just introduced with the new generation of IBM Z and LinuxONE, so respectively called Z17 and LinuxONE 5, that just went GA or was generally available last week on June 18. We are building AI in the platform to allow for a scalable AI so that we can really have the large language models being supported on our platforms and deploy AI models for advanced inferencing at scale with built-in and fit-for-purpose AI accelerators. We are also taking care of the sustainability aspects. So we scale AI, but in a sustainable way with power efficiency and availability. And in terms of security, we are really investing a lot of efforts in order to protect against threats and attacks on sensitive data and AI models, with also establishing governance approaches on the platform. And looking at why we are applying AI on IBM Z and LinuxONE at all, I mentioned earlier in the introduction of the track that more than 70% of the world's transactions run on the mainframe. And this means that a a lot of data is generated on that platform that you would not be able to Google, or assistants that are available on the internet would not really know about them. And the idea is to bring AI where those transactions are taking place and where the data is residing, especially where the music is playing, which is basically on the IBM Z platform, and at the same time profiting from the key capabilities that the IBM Z and LinuxONE platforms offer in terms of security, scalability, resiliency, performance, and also high availability, because we are not talking about types of AI use cases that you where you do the inference once a while. We are talking about introducing or adding the AI processing in the transaction in real time, and that's why high availability is becoming more and more important for AI on the platform. Looking at key capabilities that we are providing with the IBM Z17, so we are able to process 450 billion inference operations per day with 1 millisecond response time. And this is really very, very fast. If you compare that with your eye movement would feel like an eternity. We are also increasing the AI throughput and utilizing 8 AI processing units that can really help reach better bandwidth and also do workload balancing within that group of processing units. And we are also moving the AI-infused OLTP workloads from the OLTP to IBM Z, and thus we are reducing the power and also introducing technologies that are energy efficient, and I'm going to talk more about that later. So in terms of the hardware, what are we doing there? We have been delivering, or we have been working on 2 key technologies. The first one is the second generation of what we call IBM Telum. And this is an AI unit that is integrated on the core, on the processor core, which helps really to have the AI processing at the same place where the transaction is taking place and where also the data is residing. And this is going to allow for predictive AI type of use cases. And also we are advancing the capabilities of the Telum processor by providing also support for large language models that are good at reading content like unstructured data and extracting some key insights. So those are not the typical large language models that you use for generative AI. We call them encoder large language models, and they are very good at reading content and providing some key insights. And the combination of predictive AI and encoder LLMs brings a lot of advantages, as we are introducing those kind of multiple model AI to enhance the outcome and also optimize the insights that we are getting from predictive AI in the transaction. So this is what we call the transactional AI. And as we know, the world of AI has been evolving, and we are not talking about predictive AI anymore, or only about predictive AI. It is still very important, and it is going to be there for a long time. But we are also seeing the new concepts around generative AI, agentic AI, and this is ensured by the other type of large language models, which is called the decoder large language models, that help provide the generation of text, of content, of code, etc. And this is what we are supporting on the IBM Z and LinuxONE platform with the so-called IBM Spyre Accelerator cards, which are going to be available by the end of this year. So with that, we are really providing capabilities to establish generative AI applications on the platform with using data that might be sensitive, using documents that organizations would not really like to upload in the cloud, right? They would rather love to do that on a secure platform. And in that case, this is the IBM IBM Z platform. I would really like to show you here that we are providing a fit-for-purpose concept with different technologies, but every technology is a good fit for a specific purpose. And if we look back at the predictive AI, usually it has certain requirements, especially as we are introducing the inferencing in every transaction at scale. The bandwidth and the response time is going to be very important. We are expecting response times in milliseconds because the transaction cannot wait long time. We have SLAs that we need to respect. And this is where the low latency and high throughput are really an important requirements, as well as the precision and accuracy. And this is where the Telum technology is a very good fit to address those requirements. If we look at the right-hand side of this chart, we see the generative AI, which we are also supporting. And there the clients do not expect really millisecond of response time. Usually, the human beings are interacting with an assistant or a chatbot that is going to generate an answer or generate content. And usually, we are happy with a few seconds of response time, and the performance is also measured in tokens per second. And in addition to that, the security is a priority to ensure client data and models are protected. And we also think about the energy efficiency that is essential to scale this kind of generative AI workloads in a responsible way. In the middle, we see a kind of intersection or between predictive AI and large language models, where we would like to have advanced AI with higher predictive accuracy and expanded insights. So, what are the technologies that would be a good fit for those two types of approaches? For multiple model AI, where we usually use encoder large language models, IBM Telum 2 would be a good fit. If we want more better response times, or if the model is quite complex, we could also support it on IBM Spyre Accelerator. And then in terms of generative AI, this is basically going to be the decoder LLMs that will be running on IBM Spyre Accelerator, and which are going to be supported again by the end of this year. So you see, as we are moving from left to right, we are increasing the compute and memory bandwidth, and this is the reason why we are introducing this kind of Spyre card technologies. So in order to make that happen, hardware is not enough. If you compare that with driving cars, it is not enough if you have a car that can drive 300 kilometers per hour, but if your ecosystem is not prepared for that speed, right? And that's why we are introducing also software technologies, frameworks, libraries, compilers to allow the organizations to use AI in a smooth way, and also to be able to build and train the models anywhere with the on the platform of choice, with the tool of choice, but be able to smoothly import that model, format it to a convenient model format, and then deploy it smoothly on IBM Z, be it on Telum 2 or on the PCI Express Spyre card. And there we are introducing new technologies like PyTorch, Red Hat OpenShift AI, Watson X AI, and VLLM. So all are very exciting technologies and capabilities that we are really making available on the IBM Z platform. That earlier James mentioned that this is really a very old platform, but you see how we are modernizing it, how we are making it ready for the latest approaches of AI, and making it really easy to smoothly deploy all those sets of AI technologies on the platform. So you might ask yourself, we have seen the hardware technology, we have seen the software technology. So for what are we going to use AI on IBM Z? Again, this is the platform where a lot of transactions are taking place, be it in the financial services area, insurance, government, and other industries. And we believe that as long as creativity works, you will be able to identify really use cases that are meaningful and where you could leverage the AI to have even more intelligent transactions and also even more intelligent processes. So in the financial services area, we see typical use cases like fraud detection, anti-money laundering, risk scoring, credit decisioning. And if we are bringing the AI capabilities to the transactions and data, we are going to leverage the real-time insights, not do things after the fact and also detect fraud after the fact. We are preventing fraud because we are introducing AI processing in the transaction itself in real time, so that we can decide if it is going to be accepted or not. In insurance area, we see typical use cases around claims for detection, intelligent underwriting, text and image processing, product recommendations, and also in government, we have been seeing really interesting use cases also in the area of fraud and sentiment analysis, also some image analysis that we have never thought would be really relevant for IBM Z clients. But again, the sensitivity of the data and the security aspects, the scalability aspects, let the clients think of the IBM Z platform as an important platform to host their AI technology. I'm also going to give you a short overview about what types of multiple model applications we have been exploring with our clients. So let's start with fraud detection. I mentioned that typically banking and financial institutes are able now to use the AI technologies in order really to scan every transaction in real time and with very, very low response time within the transaction in order to score every transaction against fraud. And we have been doing a lot of or exploring that with a lot of clients and driving projects with them, where we have seen really a very good bandwidth with a single digit of milliseconds response time and at scale. Now, you might ask yourself, so why should we advance the fraud detection implementation? It could happen that even if you are scoring all your transactions, some of the high-risk transactions come with a likelihood or an insight, an AI predictive insight with, yeah, it might be fraudulent, but the likelihood is really low, like 55%. And this is not going to help the organizations really take the decision easily. They might have more investigation and manual investigation in order to take the right decision. And in that case, what we could do is let all the transactions go through a predictive AI model that is quite traditional, be it a machine learning or deep learning model. And the transactions, which is normally presenting 5 or 10% of the whole transactions, can go then through a large language model and encode a large language model, analyze some unstructured data, or have more sophisticated approaches in order to identify if this is really a fraud risk or not. And with that, we are reducing significantly the loss related to high-risk transactions. And even a few percentage of fraud detection, which is providing the right insights, can make really a difference in millions of dollars. Also, in the area of anti-money laundering, we could use either one predictive machine learning model, but as we are introducing a combination with other encoder large language models that can help really detect further patterns, we would be able to increase the accuracy of the model and mitigate the risks by leveraging this kind of multiple AI models, where we combine the approach for a more accurate screening process. Also, in the area of insurance claims processing, we are also smartly combining predictive AI with encoder large language models. For example, imagine there is a natural catastrophe. A lot of people are sending house claim insurance claims, and the agents that are expected to process those claims might be really overwhelmed with the big number of claims, and they need to look at the unstructured text. They might also need to look at images in order to identify the risk, and also the reason of the claim, as well as the urgency. So what we are doing with encoder LLMs, we are trying to get those insights by analyzing the unstructured data and being able to extract features that we add to the structured features that are usually used, for example, in order to detect fraud within insurance claims processing. So this is really also an interesting area where you can increase the productivity of those agents and also make sure that clients are satisfied. In interest of time, I'm going to jump to the next part where we talk about the Spyre Accelerator cards. Again, we are introducing them in order to support generative AI use cases. And we, as you see here, the energy consumption is about 75 watts. So this is really a very reduced energy consumption. We can go up to 1 terabyte of memory with 8 cards per I/O drawer. And we can have 1.6 terabyte per second aggregate memory bandwidth. So why are we doing that? We are also introducing from our side, from IBM, some turnkey solutions that are intended to boost the productivity of IBM Z users. The first one that you see on this chart is called Watson X Assistant for Z, and Soumya is going to deep dive into it. This is actually an assistant that is intended to help IBM Z system programmers, IT operators, to be more productive and also to get answers to any questions around IBM Z. And also in the background, we are using automation for repeated and complex tasks by leveraging the so-called automation skills. And we are also introducing the concept around agents to autonomously perform tasks on behalf of a user or system. The code assistant, on the other hand, is intended to help developers be more productive by accelerating the application lifecycle, providing capabilities to understand what existing code does, and also providing capabilities to transform the code, for example, from COBOL to Java, etc. We are also thinking about supporting further AI use cases that the organizations might come from and which are based on their own documents, their own data, where you can have, for example, tax document processing, financial documents processing, information search and data extraction, and also analyzing images, for example, of cargo, where you might have containers, and this is really a real life scenario or use case where the client would like to accelerate the processing of the container monitoring and seeing if something is abnormal in those containers, and they would like to take photos and let generative AI really detect if there is any anomaly, or if they can basically approve and agree on letting the people get the container content. Yeah, in summary, this is basically the models that we have optimized so far, be it for transactional use cases or non-transactional use cases. This is a living list. It is being extended as we are talking to clients and trying also to support their large language models implementations. And this is the list of the large language models, but for sure we have in the predictive AI part with the IBM Z16, we already have been supporting a big number of algorithms and models. Yeah, very shortly, the vision for Watson X and IBM Z, the journey is going to continue. We would like also to support fine-tuning of the models on the platform, doing real-time inferencing, also supporting the governance of the models. We already started started doing that with key capabilities like machine learning for the US. And we are also, we can connect to Watson X governance in order to also leverage the governance capabilities there, and use also the embedded AI solutions with Watson X. I wanted just to highlight that for our clients, we offer what we call discovery workshops, where we can engage together with their teams and ideate on candidate use cases to identify the value that we can deliver by AI on IBM Z or LinuxONE. And we can then scope a pilot or proof of concept where they can experiment by themselves how the AI on IBM Z and LinuxONE capabilities can be used for their own business use cases. And that's basically all what I wanted to share with you. Thank you very much for your time. I hope it was meaningful for you. And I wish you a really good time with the next sessions, and also with the hands-on lab sessions.